Today, we're going to dive into a philosophical showdown that really forces you to ask a pretty fundamental question about, well, everyone. So let's just jump right in. At your absolute core, are you naturally a good person? Or is there this darker, more selfish side that you're always having to keep in check? And this isn't just some random thought experiment, It's a question that has shaped entire civilizations for thousands of years. Way back about 2,300 years ago in ancient China, two incredibly smart thinkers looked at this exact question and came to completely opposite answers. And in doing so, they kicked off an intellectual battle that, honestly, we're still talking about today. Let me introduce you to Mencius and Xunzi. Now, what's so interesting is that both of them were followers of the great philosopher Confucius. But boy, did they take his ideas in wildly different directions. They really set the stage for one of the most fascinating head-to-heads in the history of philosophy. And here's the debate, boiled down to its absolute core. On one side, you have Mencius, who was absolutely convinced that human beings are born good. And on the other side, you have Xunzi, who argued the exact opposite, that our natural state is actually flawed, selfish, even evil. So who had a better case? Let's dig in. All right, first up, let's hear from Team Optimist, Mencius. His big idea was that morality isn't something you have to learn from a book. It's something you're literally born with. Mencius had this really powerful way of explaining it. He said that our natural tendency toward goodness is just like water's tendency to flow downhill. It's the default setting. It's a force of nature. So for him, to be a bad person, you actually have to actively fight against your own true nature. He called these built-in tendencies the four sprouts. The idea is just beautiful, really. He said everyone, no matter who you are or where you're from, is born with these tiny little seeds of virtue inside them. You've got a sprout of compassion, a sprout of shame, one for courtesy, and one for knowing right from wrong. And if you take care of them, they'll grow. But if you neglect them, they can just wither and die. Okay, but that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a really nice idea, but where's the proof? How do you actually prove this stuff exists? Well, Mencius had a brilliant answer for that, a thought experiment that is still incredibly powerful. He wants you to imagine this. You're just walking along, minding your own business, and you see a little kid about to fall into a well. Mencius argues that anyone, and he means anyone, in that split second would feel this jolt of panic and compassion. You wouldn't stop and think, what's in it for me? Or will this get me a reward? No way. You just react. You move to save the child. And for Mencius, that gut reaction, that's the proof. That's your true good nature showing itself before your rational, calculating brain has a chance to mess things up. But, of course, not everyone was buying it. So let's head over to the other side of the ring and check out Xunzi's powerful and much darker vision for humanity. Xunzi looked around at the exact same world and saw something totally different. He saw jealousy, greed, and people fighting for resources. He argued that if we all just followed our natural instincts, society would be absolute chaos. So for him, any goodness you see in a person isn't natural at all. It's an achievement. It's artificial. So you can forget about nurturing those delicate little sprouts. Xunzi had a very different metaphor. He saw human nature as a piece of warped, twisted wood. On its own, it's totally useless, maybe even dangerous. To make it into something straight and useful, to make a person moral, you need tools, you need pressure, you need to force it into shape. And that external pressure, that process of forcing the wood straight, that's what he called conscious activity. This is basically everything we humans have invented to overcome our flawed nature. We're talking about strict teachers, social rules and rituals, laws, and just the hard, grueling work of self-discipline. For Xunzi, being good is hard work. It's about resisting your nature, not following it. So you see the huge difference in direction, right? Mencius says you look inward and cultivate what's already there. Xunzi says you have to look outward to society and teachers to build something that just wasn't there in the first place. Okay, so we've got two powerful, completely opposite views of who we are. Why should we care about some 2,300-year-old debate? Well, because the answer you find more convincing has a massive impact on the kind of world we all live in. Let's just put them head-to-head one more time. Do you think people are like sprouts, where education should be like gardening, gently helping what's already there to grow? Or are people more like warped wood, where education is more like carpentry, bending and forcing something into a totally new shape? The choice you make there has huge consequences. So, how exactly do these really old, kind of abstract ideas show up in the real world we're living in right now? Well, just think about government. If you lean towards Mencius, you might build a system based on trusting citizens, on freedom. But if you think Xunzi was right, you might want stricter laws, more surveillance, to control those based instincts. And what about the legal system? Is the point to rehabilitate criminals, to help that little good sprout inside them grow again? Or is it about punishment, to correct the warped wood? This plays out in the classroom too, and even in how we raise our kids. Do you nurture a child's curiosity or impose strict discipline to correct their flaws? You see, this isn't just ancient history. It's modern politics. It's our justice system. It's how we run our schools and even our families. The assumptions we make about human nature, whether we say them out loud or not, literally build the framework for our entire society. And so this incredible debate that Mencius and Xunzi started all those years ago, well, it's still going on. Not just in philosophy classrooms, but in our everyday lives. So I'll leave you with this. When you look out at the world, and maybe more importantly, when you look inside yourself, which view feels more true? Are we nurturing our inner goodness, or are we in a constant battle to straighten out our own warped wood? The answer really does shape everything.